guards the 6-foot junior from Minnetonka, Minnesota, number 0,
What's up, you guys? How y'all doing? So, just after my video about Craig Angelos being ousted as Hawaii Athletics Director, I know I said I was going to do my recap of UH versus Weber State yesterday, but unfortunately I got a little too lazy and didn't do it. So I'm going to do it right now. But before I do that, guys, just remember, subscribe if you think that I'm worth listening to or if you just want to see some of my other games. But in the meantime, I'm going to put up my banner here before we get into this. There you go. In the meantime, let's get into this. As you can see, UH versus Weber State. University of Hawaii came out the winners in overtime, 73-68. Now, this was a bit of a battle here, but before I get to that, I also just want to point out that the last time that these two teams faced off was back in 1975. 49 years later, and UH won once again. And I say once again because 45 years ago, it was UH who came out the winners 106-88, way back in 75. And that was before my time, probably my dad's time. And I'll tell you this, I would give this game an A+, because the University of Hawaii was down by 7 at halftime, but they did an incredible job holding Weber State, or Weber State, if as they call it, holding Weber State to just 19 in the second half. And Tanner Christensen was the player of the game for the University of Hawaii. He had 25 points, and he was 10 for 11 from the field. But what really stood out was the fact that he had 20 points in the first half. He got those 20 points before halfway through the first half on that note. And although Christensen was held to only 5 in the second half before he fouled out in overtime, I think he has certainly proven that he is the anchor man to possibly lead this team to a Big West championship. Put it in! Yeah! Woo-hoo! Now, with the University of Hawaii, Tanner Christensen has proven to be a legitimate pickup. Let me tell you, for 20 points after overtime, making all 8 of his shots and 4 free throws, that's what I call a legitimate pickup for sure, and I'm sure everybody else would agree too. But another guy who really deserves some credit is Gytis Nemeiksa, because my dad had an interesting observation, and I couldn't agree with him more, that he reminded him a lot of former Rainbow Warrior Predrag Savovich. Savovich wasn't flashy, but he was always in the right place at the right time. And Gytis Nemeiksa is always in the right place at the right time. How many times did he happen to tip in some shots? And he did really, really good in that game. Next to Tanner Christensen's game-time bucket, Nemeiksa was all over the place and getting rebounds, getting tip-ins, and everything else. And I have to say, if UH came out on the losing end of this game, I would think at least 50% of the reason why was because Akira Jacobs was not available due to a foot injury. But one guy went out, one guy came back in. Ryan Rapp buried his first field goal after missing the first 3 games of the season due to a hand injury. And Rapp made his first field goal in overtime. Come on, Ryan. Yes! I was very pleased with the way that UH was able to storm back and be able to hold Weber State to only 19 in the second half. They were ice cold from three-point range. Weber State I'm talking about. I believe they were 0 for 7, 0 for 8, somewhere around there. But still, the University of Hawaii proved that this team, that they are legit. And for them to be picked to finish 7th in the Big West, I hope those prognosticators are wetting their pants over this, because although the non-conference schedule may be deceiving, this team has proven that they're legit with guys like Tanner Christensen, Gytis, Nemeiksa, Marcus Green, and Tom Beattie, just to name a few. And of course, you also have some new guys like Aaron Hunkin-Clater that are still being developed, and also to a point Marcus Green as well, because he's proven that he's the legitimate point guard. But another guy that I think is also going through a development stage, Jerome Palm. Although we didn't see much of him out there, just 5 minutes, I thought he did a notable contribution. And I was very pleased with the way that UH did not lose their composure, and they were able to come back and win. Now, they definitely got to show that turned a corner, because up next is number 10, North Carolina. Now, the last time we went up against them, it didn't go well. UH only led for about a minute, and then North Carolina just took control for the rest of the game. This time, I don't know if we're going to come out the winners there. Obviously, we're riding a win streak. Are we still going to come through the winners? I don't know. That seems to be we probably need another legitimate point guard like Roderick Bobbitt to be able to even have a chance. That's kind of why I'm putting UH as 9-point underdogs here, because give them credit. Give North Carolina credit, because that's the school that Michael Jordan went to, and quite a bit of luck has to fall their way. I don't know if we're going to have the same kind of game like we had against Michigan State, where we ended up winning by over 20 because a lot of their players cramped up. So I'm hoping that we can at least compete with them. If we can take them to overtime like Weber State, that's a big statement. But if we end up losing by probably 1 or 2 or 3, that's an even bigger statement, because it proves that we can compete, that we're a competitive squad, and this team can't be overlooked. So anyway, guys, that's all for today. Thought I'd keep it a little short. But remember, guys, subscribe, and I'll see you all for my recap for North Carolina.